All right. Hey, everybody. We're going to get started here in about 3 minutes. We're going to be talking Product Finder and some advanced things on Keepa. So we're going to let everybody kind of roll in a little bit. This is going to be here in the webinar. Should be live in the Facebook group as well. So we're going to let this roll probably about 3 to 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, and then we'll get rolling here. So if you guys can type in the chat, just let me know you're here. Excuse me. Open up the Facebook chat as well. Let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me all right. And like I said, we'll get started in a few minutes. Hey, Dawit, how's it going? I always feel bad. I hope I'm saying your name right. All right, for those of you rolling in, we're going to get started in a few minutes. Excuse me. Hey, Jeff, how's it going, man? Josias, hopefully I'm saying that right. Hey, Ivor. James and Mary, how you guys doing? And James, absolutely, this is going to be recorded. It'll be here on the Facebook wall forever. And then, of course, I will end up uploading this to the members area as well. Bernie, how's it going? Rob, absolutely. I'm doing something a little bit different, so it might be a little bit weird. I'm using Webinar Jam, which is my webinar hosting software. They recently rolled out Facebook Live integration, so I've got to keep Facebook open, but I also have to keep Webinar Jam open to make sure this thing goes off without a hitch. So hopefully it will be all right. Like I said, guys, it's 8 o'clock now. We're going to let people roll in for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're going to get moving here. I've got some what I think are pretty cool things to show you about Keepa. And we'll dig in from the we'll actually dig in from the very start here. Excuse me. I'll be turning off my camera here shortly so you guys don't have to see my ugly mug anymore, and we'll just be straight into the content. All right, just another minute or two, guys, and we'll get rolling. Hopefully everybody can see okay on the Facebook Live. You may need to close down some windows just to make sure the speed is as good as it can be. You may have to may need to make it full screen. All right. I would imagine you guys may want to take a few notes because there are going to be a lot of things we go over tonight. And I also want to answer any questions you guys have, because while some of this I think is easy to do, a little bit of it is going to be a little bit on the difficult side. So I want to make sure that everyone understands as much as possible. We'll give another, let's do 2 minutes and we'll get rolling here. I don't think we'll have too many more people show up. Excuse me. Hey, Janelle, how's it going? All right, guys, one more minute. I got one person says they having a little trouble getting in, so we'll give everybody one more minute, and then we'll get rolling here. Hey, Charlie, how's it going? All right. It's 3 minutes past 8, so we're going to go ahead and just get moving. Everyone else can watch the replay. Let me shut off my camera here, make things a little bit faster. There we go. Okay, so tonight, everybody, we are going to be talking about Keepa. Now, I know that everyone here should be familiar with Keepa. You probably all have the Keepa extension installed, and that is great. However, they have recently released some new tools and some new things that you can do that are incredible, in my opinion. Now, I made a video not too long ago about the data features and how you can use that. There was some data features inside or on the Keepa website that you could use. That's in the members area if you need to go back and take a look at that. Today we're going to be talking about this new tool, the Product Finder. Excuse me, guys. I got a little bit of a tickle here. Now, this Product Finder does require a monthly subscription. It is £15 per month, and you can subscribe on their website. Just right here, you just click that little button. £15 a month is somewhere around $17 for those of us who only deal in US dollars, depending on what the exchange rate is, but ends up running me somewhere between $17 and $18 every month. And it's worth every single penny, and we'll dig in why. And then later on, I'm going to tell you why you should probably spend more money with Keepa as well. But let's go to this Product Finder and dig right in. Now, we talked about the top seller list, the best seller list, the product viewer. We're going to talk about the Product Finder today. You can see up here in the top right-hand corner, I have a quota. That is the amount of data that I can get from Keepa every single day with my £15 per month membership. But I'll go through that really quick. I'll probably go through that showing you guys some things, maybe. Now, that's as much as you can get with this particular plan, but that's okay. It ends up being about 25 to 30,000 ASINs per day, and it does refill every hour, but it never refills 100% until 24 hours, okay? So you'll want to keep an eye on this because eventually they'll say no more data for today. And part of the reason for that is they don't want people coming in and abusing this new Product Finder tool. Now, if you've taken the time to read this while I've been blathering on, you'll know that the Product Finder tool allows us to go in and find products that are tracked by Keepa basically just about any way we want. And I'm going to start from the very beginning, then we'll get into some higher level things. The first thing that you can do is this sales rank and price type. So if you, for example, want to pull all of the ASINs from the toy category from 1 to 1 million, let's say, you can do that. Now, you're going to end up being you're going to end up being capped at about 5,000 per pull. So I would typically say pull from 1 to 5,000. You can also pull the 30-day average. So if you wanted to see items that were ranked from 1 to, yeah, Carolyn, most people really only use the price history and sales rank feature on Keepa. If you wanted to pull items that have a 30-day average from, say, 5,000 to 7,500, you could do that. You can do the same with 90-day average or 180-day average. You can also pull items that have a 90-day drop percentage. So let's say that something dropped 50% to 75% in sales rank over the last 90 days. You'd be able to pull that information. You can pull ASINs that are out of stock, both in Amazon and as a new item. So let's say that you wanted to just see what toys are out of stock that are ranked from 10,000 to 25,000, and Amazon does not have them. No new third-party sellers have them. You can do that, okay? And we'll do a couple of examples once we go through this. You can pull items based on price from different sellers, whether it's Amazon, whether it's a new item, if it's a third-party FBA or fulfilled by merchant. You can pull based on the used price, the list price, and this is everything from current to 180-day average on all of these items, okay? We can go look at lightning deals, any price range on them from, 1 to 50 or anything like that. You can include upcoming deals in case, well, you really can't flip lightning deals. But if you want to know what is coming up on a lightning deal, you can do that for your own personal enjoyment. If you want to look at warehouse deals or collectible or refurbished, we can pull all of these ASINs. I could keep going, but I think you guys get the gist here. They have all the buy box prices, no matter what condition it's in, refurbished. They even have eBay prices for the items that they track on eBay. And then, of course, we've got trade-in. If you want to look at items that are eligible for trade-in from, 1 to any price, you can do that as well. Now, the second portion is what really, really fascinates me. Oh, sorry, guys, bear with me just a moment here. We've got a couple people who are trying to get in. Let's see. Why can't you flip lightning deals? It's usually about 99% of the time flipping lightning deals are against Amazon terms of service. Let me go find the link to this video, guys. I'm going to share it with a couple people, and we'll get right back on track. All right, so this title and brand information is where I think this really sets things apart. For example, let's say that we wanted to find items that are ranked from 5,000 to 10,000, but actually, someone in the comments, can you tell me, tell me a brand that you want to sell, or just give me a brand that you don't mind sharing, and I'll show you what we can do here. Phillips, Milwaukee Tool. All right, perfect. I'll tell you what. Let's do Milwaukee Tools. All right, let's do a live. So we want to look at everything that is Milwaukee Tools, and let's say that we want to look at items that are ranked from 50,000 to 150,000 currently. We're going to scroll down here, and we're only going to look in the tools and home improvement category, and then we're going to go down here to brand, and we're going to type in Milwaukee. Milwaukee has 15,981 items that are tracked by Keepa. We're going to click on that. We're going to go find these products. Now, I only have this set to 100 rows to minimize my data usage. But you can change this from 5 to 5,000. Okay, we're going to leave it on 100 for now. You can see that it's displaying 100 rows out of a total of 300. No particular reason for 50 to 100K. I just didn't want to do 1 to 5,000. Here's one reason why I might go a little bit higher in rank. We're going to take a look here, and we're going to see that there are probably fewer sellers on a lot of these. Some of them have 22, but you can see a bunch of them with under 10 sellers. However, 50 to 100,000 is something that's still selling currently. You can see that it's got good ratings. We can look through here. We'd actually be able to see the number of ratings. So no particular reason right off the top of my head other than what I thought of. Now, what we can see here is from 50 to 100,000 with just the Milwaukee brand, we have 314 items. Now, the really cool thing that we can do here is we can export these. You can export all active columns, and before we export that, I'll show you. I have mine configured to show me the Amazon 90-day average, the 90-day out-of-stock percentage, the current Amazon price, the brand, the buy box seller, the buy box 90-day average, the buy box current. I have the root category showing up, and let's see, the image frequently bought together. We're going to talk about this in a moment. The list price, the manufacturer, and then I also have the new third-party FBA prices, parent ASINs, and then UPCs and things like that. Okay, so I have a few of those things, but I've gotten rid of a ton of them. Oh, I also have it pull the variation ASINs. So if we export this, I'm going to export all the active columns and open this puppy up. We're going to be able to do a couple things with this. One, let me pull this over. One, we're going to be able to filter down the information that we don't need. For example, I don't need the locale because I know these are all .com. I've got the title. I've got sales rank. I've got the root category. Let's see. I've got the ASINs here, so we can take this data here and run this through reverse search. Yes, whenever you choose columns, they are saved as your template as long as you're logged into your Keepa account. So you've got these ASINs here that will allow you to do a reverse search with tactical arbitrage. It'll also allow you to do a wholesale search if you would choose to do that with reverse search turned on. That would, of course, give you the opportunity to find items that are going to match what you want. But heck, you could find possible wholesale items just by using Keepa now also. You've got the product codes, we've got brands, we've got a ton of information here. Now, a lot of it you don't need. What I find more powerful is being able to just download tons and tons of ASINs based on something that you're interested in. We could knock this out to 5,000 rows. We could do a much larger search. Matter of fact, we will. Let's say, for example, that I want to go 180-day average. I want to sell items that are ranked between 25,000 and 30,000 over the course of 180 days. I want Amazon to be out of stock. And I'm looking for items only in the grocery and gourmet food department. Okay, you can see they have 1.5 million items tracked currently. We're going to find products here. There's 4,439 products that are ranked between 25,000 and 30,000 over the course of the last 180 days. Amazon is not in stock on any of these items as of the last time they were hit with Keepa. And I now have 4,439 ASINs that I can go out and do a reverse search on. Now, the other cool thing is we've got the new offer count, okay? There's 16 offers currently on this one, but a ton of them have less than 10 sellers, okay? Now, if we wanted to, we could go back and we could only bring along items that have less than a certain number of sellers, okay? What I would do with this is I would export it. I would only worry about these ASINs, export this data, and now I have a list of ASINs ripe and ready to use for tactical arbitrage reverse search. We'll show you right here. It's in the perfect format to use it with tactical arbitrage. You'll see I only have 101 items currently because my Keepa is set to 100 rows. Now, digging further into the product finder, that's not the only thing that we can do with it. You can, of course, go back and mess with the sales ranks, do all of the, mess with the sales ranks, make sure Amazon's out of stock. You could go with items that are completely out of stock by choosing new out of stock. We can go by manufacturer. You can go by other brands. Jeff, I'm not sure what you mean by seeing the Keepa page only. You can even go down to color if you want. And there are just a ton of ways to pull this data. You can also restrict your current results to the current buy box seller. So you can look at, let's say you wanted to go out and, so let's do this. This will be pretty cool. Let's go look for pharma packs on Amazon. And we're going to pull their seller ID real quick. Here is their seller ID. Go back to this product finder. We're going to put in their seller ID. We are going to look for items that over the last 90 days rank from 5,000 to 50,000. I'm not going to worry about the category that it's in. We've got just this seller ID here, and we're going to find products. Keepa updates rather often. It depends on what product it is. Some of them are faster than others, and some of them may only be able to be updated, once a day. Why not look at 1 to 50K? You can, Tim, absolutely. You can look at 1 to 50K if you want. I typically stay out of like 1 to 5,000 just because I know there's going to be a ton of sellers and you're going to it'll be more often that the price drops. So I actually like things that are not ranked super well. And I'll show you another thing we can do here before we get into some of the really kind of difficult stuff. So what we see here is these are all the items where PharmaPacks is the buy box seller from 5 to 50,000. Okay, you could roll through and see everything that they have that actually has the buy box. All right. Now, here is another really cool thing we can do. We'll go back to this product finder. I'm going to choose Amazon out of stock. I'm going to choose new out of stock. Let's go from, let's go from 1 to 50,000. Oops. 1 to 50,000. And we'll look in the grocery category again. Perfect. Find products. Now what we're going to see is we're going to see items that are all currently out of stock on Amazon. There's 21,099. Now, a lot of these say that they're ranked number 1, This is going to be in a subcategory as it's a bottle of wine. This is a bottle of vodka. So a lot of these are going to be no good. But if you look in some higher ranks, you're going to find a lot of items where you actually may be able to find what you're looking for. But all of these ASINs are out of stock. You're going to, like I said, in some of these lower ones, you're going to run into a lot of booze. And this is mostly because Amazon recently shut down their booze selling on their site. So these are all subcategories. However, if you start going a little bit higher, if you go into grocery and look at, say, 50,000 to 100,000 for everything that's out of stock, you will be able to find a lot of things. Now, many of them are going to be items that are either hard to find or they've been discontinued. But I did a search of about 5,000, and I came back with 2 or 3 that I was able to find locally. Okay, so it sounds like having to go through a lot, but Tactical Arbitrage is doing the heavy lifting for me, so it's not really that difficult. Does everybody understand so far? Is there anything that I've missed? Anything that that people aren't getting before we dig into some of the stuff that we can do to go a little bit deeper? Doesn't new out of stock mean AMZ out of stock by default? No, it doesn't. They track new and Amazon differently with Keepa. All right, Jeff says so far so good. All right, so we're going to start digging into some things that are a little bit deeper than just what you can do here. Yeah, yeah. James has it right. I smell money. Okay. The next thing you're going to need to be able to do what I'm about to show you, you are actually going to need, is it data apps? You're actually going to need a Keepa API subscription. You're going to notice here that, well, you guys are going to see my private access key, but I'm going to change it in an hour. So don't try to use it, guys. But you're going to notice here that I have a $99 a month or $99 per month plan. They have different plans. They start they start at 39 pounds per month for 20 tokens per minute. They go all the way up to 7,099 pounds per month for 8,000 tokens per minute. I was running out at 39, so I upgraded to the 99. I don't think I'm going to need to go to the 369. I think this 99 is more than enough. But if you're not hitting it too hard and you're willing to come back to it, yeah, James, you could share a key with somebody, sure. If you're willing to come back to it every couple hours, this 39 will do just fine. So if you decide you want to get into some of this, this is something that you're going to need. Now, let's go back to the product finder. Here's where I find this really, really fascinating. Pulling this data down 5,000 at a time is really, really powerful. But the thing is you can see that just pulling a couple hundred has brought my quota down to 97%. If I pull 5,000 ASINs at a time, I do that 4 times, I think, maybe 5, I'm done for the day. That's it until tomorrow. However, let's say that I want to pull items from the clothing, shoes, and jewelry category, which is a huge category. And I want items that are Adidas brand. Okay. So we can see here, Adidas is 575,000 items. And then Adidas Originals is another 45,000 items. So I'm actually going to put Adidas Originals in there as well. Okay. And where I'm going to start is I'm going to start from number 1, and I'm going to go to 50,000 to get things rolling. Okay. Now I'm going to find products again, and everything looks just like we did before. You can see here, that's 510. I actually want more, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little button up here that says Show API Query. Now, you're going to get a bunch of information that doesn't make a lot of sense. Don't worry about this. You want to take a look at this complete API URL. I'm going to copy this, and I use a little program online called Notepad. It's by Rapid Tables, and I'm going to paste this into my Notepad. I'm now going to go and I accidentally closed my API key. I'm going to grab my API key from Keepa. I'm going to copy this, and where it says your API key, you're actually going to paste your key in there. And now you should have something that looks like this. Now, what this is currently going to grab for us is this is going to grab anything that is Adidas, anything that is Adidas Originals from rank number 1 to rank 50,000 in clothing and shoes. But we need to make a few changes. Number 1, I saw that there were only, 500 or so in there. So I'm going to go from 1 to 150,000. You're going to see over here, you're going to see current sales, LTE, and you're going to see the rank that you chose in your product finder right here. That you need to change, okay? We go a little bit further, and down here, we're going to see a per page instruction. Now, currently it says 100. That is how many that we're showing in the product finder on Keepa. I'm going to change this to 5,000. All right. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to pull 5,000 ASINs at a time. Now, here's where things get really cool. After we've made those changes to the API URL, we're going to copy that. We're going to place it in another browser tab. We're going to click Paste and Go. Now here we get a few items of information. We get a timestamp. We get the number of tokens left. Okay, I started with 3,600. I now have 3,469. It's going to tell us when it's going to refill, how fast it refills, but these don't really matter. What matters is what comes after this ASIN list. You're going to notice here that I now have a bunch of ASINs that are all ranked from 1 to 150,000 that are Adidas or Adidas Originals in the clothing, shoes, and the clothing and shoes category. Okay, if we scroll down to the bottom of the page, we can see that the total number of results is 1,216. That means there were not 5,000. We have the ability to have Keepa show us 5,000 ASINs at a time on this page. But there are only 1,216 Adidas ASINs available from 1 to 150,000. So what you want to do with this is you want to grab all of this ASIN data, copy it, okay? I use Control-C, and then I'm going to open up just a regular text program. I'm going to paste these into the text program. Now, from there, you're going to want to move it. Hey, Rob, I'm looking at the Facebook Live, and I saw where it went blank, and then it came back. So maybe it's lagging a little bit for you. If anyone else is having problems, let me know. But of course, I am recording this if it's giving anybody issues. So what I've done is I've pasted those ASINs into a text editor. What I will do next is I will import these ASINs from the text editor into an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV file, so that I can use that with tactical arbitrage. You can do this over and over and over again, any which way you like. We could go back and we could pull ASINs for Nike from 1 to 200,000. You could pull just Nike ASINs that are out of stock, just Adidas ASINs that are out of stock. This just keeps going and going any which way you can think about using it. And it's all this simple. Does that all make sense to everybody? Do you need me to show you again, kind of step by step, how I got that API information, how I plugged it into the browser, and then what I do with the ASINs? Let me refresh this. Reload. Mary, you said yes. You need me to show things again? Yes, Stephen. This will be available by recording. Absolutely. Screen froze at ASIN list. All right. It sounds like I may be trying to push too much data through a webinar, which is unfortunate. That's kind of all the important things. I may need to. Not clear. Yes, absolutely. It's not necessary to use the API. You could do this with just the product finder on Keepa. That's absolutely fine. The thing is the product finder is going to limit you much, much faster than the Keepa API is. Okay. For example, if we go here and take a look at items from 1 to 250,000, and we just pull the Adidas brand and the Adidas Originals. We're going to find all these products. I'm going to roll this out to 5,000. Looks like we're actually going to hit the 5,000 limit here. Sorry, guys, it's running a little slow because I'm trying to do so much. So we've got 5,000 ASINs here we can export. You can see out a total of 5,215, but it's taken my quota from 99 down to 74. So I'm basically going to be able to do that 3 more times, and then I'm done for the day. Because I have the Keepa API, it reloads much, much faster, and I am able to, let's see, the other day I think I downloaded like 400,000 ASINs over the course of about 3 hours while I was just trying to figure all this stuff out. Your tokens refresh every hour, not every 24 hours. So even if you just got 1 month at $39 and you focused for, a couple hours a day, you'd be able to pull down hundreds of thousands of ASINs for you to be able to use inside of tactical arbitrage. So there's all kinds of ways you can parse this data. You can do out of stock. You can make sure that it's only items that have an average 90-day or 180-day rank. And I'd be running these through reverse search all day, every day, as much as possible. But using the product finder with Keepa is just fine. That's going to be 25,000 or so ASINs every single day that you could run through tactical arbitrage without a problem. So it just depends on how much data that you want. So now I want to take questions. I want to see, I'd like to see what you guys, maybe I skipped over something. Maybe I didn't explain something very well. I want to make sure I get all the questions answered before we close this up for the evening. Doesn't TA Product Finder do the same thing? What TA Product Finder? You could do a reverse search with bestsellers, absolutely. Or you could go scrape Amazon with Storefront Stalker Pro and do the reverse search. But let's say that you wanted to find items that are ranked 100,000 to 200,000. The bestsellers is not going to do that for you. So I'm not saying that tactical arbitrage is short on features in any way. However, this method is going to allow you to go much deeper into areas that still sell very, very well, but aren't necessarily being looked at. The other thing is, let's go to Amazon. And what I would tell people before is, just go to Amazon and pull up a brand and pull all those brands ASINs with Storefront Stalker Pro. Thing is there's over 10,000 results here, and we could start going into all these little categories, and I've done this, but we end up missing some of them. Okay, I know that they're about, like, I think Hasbro has 40,000 items on Amazon total, and I can only see 10,000 here. So now I can go in and grab all of them that Keepa has. Matter of fact, we'll go and take a look. If we scroll down and type in the brand, Hasbro, so they have 16,281 items under the Hasbro brand. So now we can go and grab all that data really, really fast. I could have all those downloaded in the matter of a few minutes for Hasbro. And then we could go and we could do Mattel. Oops. We could do Mattel right after that. They have 22,383 items, and I could have that done in maybe a half an hour or so. So what this does is it just allows us to get a ton of data really, really quickly, and allows us to go and reverse search that, wholesale search it if you want with a reverse search turned on, and just start finding items other people aren't finding. So I think one of the most powerful portions of this is going to be finding out of stock items. You're going to be running through a lot of data and not finding as many, but you may be finding something that's out of stock that you can bring back to market that other people aren't even thinking about. And you can do that all just by using this product finder. All right. So that did not take quite as much time as I figured as it would. But I do want to make sure that I've got all the questions answered. So if you're not sure about something, let me know. I'll be happy to answer it, go over it. Wholesale search. Okay, so wholesale search allows you to put in wholesale price lists. And it will do a search to see what is profitable and what is not on a wholesale price list. However, you're also able to hack in a reverse search. The reverse search is, just like the regular reverse search, but it also does a wholesale search at the same time. Now, the reason I tell people to do that sometimes is if you have a ton of ASINs before the product finder, you could say, well, I only want items that are, have this average 90-day rank. I only want these items to have less than 10 sellers, and then you could find wholesale leads. You can do something very similar with the Keepa product finder, but I'd probably then go and double check it with wholesale anyway. But while I'm doing that, I would have it run a reverse search at the same time. And if you look at the wholesale video in the course, I talk about hacking in a reverse search on wholesale searches at the same time. All right, guys. Let's see. It's going to be a long night. Should have taken a nap today. Yeah, I did. I actually did that today. All right, guys. I hope this helps. I know that it's probably a lot of information to throw at you, especially if you're newer to Amazon. But as you guys go through this, please ask questions in the group. I'll make sure to answer them. I can make more videos, especially ones that are not laggy, and share them with the group. I will upload this to the members area and make sure that everybody can see it and have it forever. And then, of course, I'll answer any questions you guys have anytime. So go play around with this, guys. I hope this makes you guys a ton of money. I think it will. And I'll see you guys soon.